I hope the table can be flashed there. It has details here of what we will be paying. Of interest here, Mr. Speaker, you have ROCO, you have Congo, DRC. If you look at claims payment, we are still paying money to Congo because the Attorney General is here. We lost a case in the international court. This NRM government was accused of many crimes in Congo, including rape. If you want, you can go to the CGA website, including rape, including plundering gold, including timber, and many other things. And as a result, we were told to pay $325 million US, which comes to over 1.2 trillion. For you to appreciate that figure, we have just borrowed money to do roads in the Kampala metropolitan, which is just about the same figure. But at least every metropolitan, including my constituents, have some roads done. So these people who went and plundered Congo and stole gold, they should even stop them from coming here. Because this money should be, a report is explained. If you followed the format of the chair, I see you are restless.
Procedure. Right, Honorable Speaker, I'm trying to follow this submission of my colleague, but I don't know what page we are at, because there are some things he was saying, but I didn't see Congo, rape. You don't see Congo, I don't see rape, plunder, ICJ. I'm just requesting, are we proceeding well? Because if we want to follow the report, just keep us at the report, then we can debate.
Yes, let's listen to each other, honorable colleagues. I already had my concerns, which I wanted to share at the end, because I had, for example, some of the words used, unparliamentary. A very good example being like the word nonsense. You can hold an opinion, but there are words in Parliament, on the official record of Parliament. But now, I had wanted the chair rules to help us, because Rule 84 on parliamentary language, it limits us on debate. So, what about reports? And if on reports it's really a blank check, I think this is one of the rules we should look at, because a report will be used by researchers. It's a very, very important record that we will have. Okay? Chair rules.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Actually, the rules talk about the parliamentary debate. And the question that arises is whether the report is part of the parliamentary debate. In my opinion, it is.
Because why I was concerned, after presentation of report, I have to open a debate. Okay? Now, how does it become part of a debate before I open a debate, before I declare a debate? So I was concerned about that. But Chair, you look at it as Chair, and you will guide. We'll see whether we need to expand it and have more clarity. But what is like nonsense? Then number two, colleagues, and I saw also with the Chair budget, when you're reading a report, read a report. Then you have a chance of responses and where you can explain much more. Otherwise, all that detail you wanted, it should be in a report. A report should be read verbatim so that your submission is consistent with the report when one is reading the Hansard. So, Honorable Ssemujju, just you are about to conclude. The explanations can come in form of clarifications during the debate.
Mr. Speaker, tables don't speak. At least in my training, tables are explained. Because if you want me to translate this table in 2 pages, this report will be 100 pages. So I just do a simple explanation presenting a table. And I know the Honorable Chiwanuka Chiriowa knows this, that when you are presenting a table, you explain. Even in court you do. I see you don't just throw documents at the table. So I wanted the Parliament to appreciate that part of what we are paying on that table is money to Democratic Republic of Congo. How did it arise? Because we were accused of looting, of killing, of damage.
We've gone back to the same on everything.
Order, please. Right Honorable Speaker has ruled.
Yeah.
And as a senior colleague whom we look at to guide us who are just starting out, when the Speaker has ruled, I only think that's only courteous that we follow the ruling of the Speaker and proceed.
Honorable colleagues, we will have a chance, to speak unlimited, okay? Let's stick to the report. And also a table can have explanatory notes if you wanted to give all those more details. For example, I can say like on contingency fund, you preferred to just write contingency fund, but on court awards, you put in bracket DRC and mandamas. You see, it was your option. You could have put in more details. So just let's conclude so that we don't derail the debate.
Mr. Speaker, I will now leave the table because it is causing some people to be restless. This information, Mr. Speaker, if you go below the table, actually I am presenting information as supplied to us by Minister of Finance. I am not the source. The 20.7 trillion amount for debt servicing in the budget framework paper is different from what is captured on the Minister of Finance website. Here, the total budget for debt servicing in the framework paper on their website is 21.612 trillion, which is a difference of 886.2 billion. The table below, all these tables are not my table. I didn't draw them. This one is by Finance in the budget framework paper. Then they have another one on their website that has this information. And for NRM, this is expected. Parliament, I am inviting you, must take keen interest in Vote 130 to stop wasting taxpayers' money. For instance, the Auditor General report for 2023 noted that Vote 130 had an approved budget of 16.8 trillion, but lacked a vote strategic plan. That's on page 518. In the same year, the vote received a total supplementary budget of 46 billion to cater for commitment fees. In the same year, payments through this vote totaled to 286, which was paid to Lumbuye Specialized Hospital based on unsupported. It's not linked to the other. So just for you to take note that this vote is used for many things, including paying penalty. So the year in the report of the Auditor General, we paid the penalty 286 billion based on unsupported completion certificate. That is page 518. In the latest report, which was presented to Parliament, the Auditor General says 2 trillion requested to service debt through supplementary was never released. And last year, it is this vote that government raided, the word is not raised, raided to pay Magora 500 billion. So this vote is a cash cow for finance. They come here screaming on top of their voice that they want money to service public debt, when actually it is not the case. Before you approve this framework paper, you must order for a forensic audit on this vote. Because he has money there. So if they want to pay Magora, they just go there and pick and pay. If they want to pay Roko, they go there. That's what you did last year. Mr. Speaker, I go to domestic areas. There is a tendency to pay more attention to money directly borrowed from banks at the expense of goods and services supplied to government by our people. You know, this government borrows from everybody. It borrows stationery from Nkuruma Road, furniture from small shops, food from restaurants, and rents ordinary people's buildings. Doing this is not bad, but refusing to pay is bad manners. Money government owes ordinary people, commonly known as domestic areas, has now hit 14 trillion last financial year. It increased by 30% from 10 trillion 2023. And guess what? They have allocated a paltry 200 billion in the budget to cater for domestic areas. These areas include 260 billion in gratuity and pension. You have seen old people shed tears on television because they unpaid pension, because of their unpaid pension and gratuity. Some people of Mr. Museveni's age die before receiving their pension. Finance claims that then biggest component of domestic area is 9.1 trillion owed to Bank of Uganda, which they have cleared. If it is true, because even this one we must find out, it means domestic areas now totals to over 5 trillion. Payment of domestic areas must be a top priority of next year's budget. People who borrowed money from banks with attendant interests. Does it make sense to capitalize Ugandan Development Bank to lend to small enterprises and you refuse to pay them when they supply you? I think the intention is to kill businesses of indigenous people at the expense of Chinese and Indians. How comes any cabinet is paid on time, even for no work done? With this information, I invite Parliament to reject the whole of this budget framework paper because it does not comply with the Public Finance Management Act, the National Development Plan. The Minister of Finance should be instructed to submit another framework paper that complies with the law and addresses the many concerns of this House as outlined in the main report. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, I thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you.